Hi, my name is Troy Sumitomo. I am the owner of 5-Axis, and 5-Axis basically is a design and prototype automotive company. What we do is we basically build concept cars that automotive design studios design, and then we build it to their specifications. Aside from that, we also design and create our own show cars, as well as our own consumer products such as wheels and body kits. But you know, my team is awesome. We all have the same goal, and that's just to make the most bitchin' end product that you can. And that's not possible without the right team. So I really have to give them a lot of credit. So I grew up really, working on cars. I love to wrench mechanically on them, and I also like to, create things. That's one thing with my parents. They didn't force me into something, but they were very suggestive about, my dad's the one that steered me to architecture. My mom's the one that called me and said, there's this place called Art Center, you gotta go check it out. So, it was them looking out for, they saw the strengths in my creativity and hands-on stuff. I didn't realize that, I can actually have fun, do something, and, today where we're at, I would never thought that we'd be doing stuff for major car companies like Toyota. If it wasn't for them to push me down that creative road, and they were like your typical Asian parents that said, you have to be a doctor, or, something like that, then I wouldn't be where I am. So, I have to thank my parents for being super, lenient about that stuff. Hell, it took me 9 years to get through school. You can ask my dad about that one. When I was in design school, though, I really realized that the aspect of design that I really enjoyed was the hands-on part. Everything from designing something, like sculpting it, down to surfacing, sanding it, and painting it, and then making it fit on the car. When I graduated from Art Center, the school that I went to for car design, I focused more on the hands-on part of the industry. So we get a lot of influence from all over the place, but I think a lot of us always look to Japan. And I think the Japanese always are on the forefront of whether it's styling, tuning. I drive a Prius now, and I know for a lot of people that's still not kind of the ideal in the tuner market. Last time I was at Auto Salon, and I know the year before that, hybrids were huge. You try to do a hybrid here in the US, people just look at you like you just sold out, or you just kind of just want to, you just became somewhat environmentalist. It's just really cultural differences. The Japanese it is a single culture. We're here, we're a multicultural. So naturally that's going to spill over into all kinds of different things like the automotive industry. Naturally here, not everybody follows those trends, and we create our own and stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of really interesting things, and I think that's what's great about our country is that, yeah, we're so diverse and that we have all these different kind of cultures here. So naturally, whether it's tuning or styling, even in our own backyard, you can see such a variety of different tastes and styles. If I had all the money in the world, I'd be stoked with an old Porsche, like a 911, or what they call a 911 Sport Classic. I just love the fact that it kind of throws back to an old RS. That or a Ferrari F40. I think one car that I kind of honed in on was the Z car. I just love the Z styling. Even the 240 for its time, it was a very cool car. I've always been a car guy at heart. Naturally I'm a car guy. I love cool toys, but I had to have a bike. So this was the bike to have. This is actually an NSR 250. Those of you guys who know old gray market bikes, this is actually a two-stroke out of Japan. Technically not legal here in the United States. I don't even have a license, so I don't ride it. But the cool thing about this is that not only is it unique because it's got a single-sided swing arm, but it also has a credit card ignition. So this little thing slips into the holster here, and that's how you start the bike. So yeah, this is really cool. I did some other mods to it. I made some custom taillights. I retrofitted the front end with a more current style fork. But for the most part, it's a showpiece because, like I said, I don't have my license, and I'm not going to risk it because I heard the cops will impound these things if they catch you. So I guess it's a cool living room piece or something. Right here, this is my 71 240Z. The reason why I got this car is I grew up back in the 80s, and I loved just old school motors. I'm talking, when I say old school, no fuel injection, just side draft carburetors and basically an engine. You can stand in an engine bay. So I'm actually basically a Z car fanatic. So obviously the first one to have is always the first generation Z. So this is actually a 71, but it's much like a 1970. So underneath the hood here is actually got an L28 with triple side drafts, and right now it's got Webers on it because that's why I bought the motor. But I got to make this thing right and legit. So I got some 3 Mikunis that are going to go on here, some 44s. So once I have time, I'm going to set this thing back up. Tranny is actually not in it right now. Put that in, put the side drafts on this, and make this thing all like JDM correct. And even the wheels, I'm going to try to get some Watanabes for it. This other car over here is actually my 92 300ZX, and I had this thing while I was in school. And I thought at the time, rumor had it that they were going to cancel the Z line, and this was going to be the last of it. So I was stoked. I thought I got the first one, and then I got the last one. Then they came out this thing called the 350Z, which I wasn't too crazy about. But when the 370 came out, because it plays so much off the styling of the 240, I had to have one of those. So I actually have one of those as well. So this car here, I'm going to keep it because I still think styling-wise and everything, it's still pretty current. I mean, I remember when this car first came out, I thought, man, this is a really cool design, and even today, it still fits in with current styling of sports cars. So I'm going to hang on to this little bad boy, even though it's not technically the last one. But so I have my 240, my 300, and my 370. So I think I'm set as far as my Z car collection is concerned. And I actually had one domestic car, and it was a Caprice wagon. Yeah, people don't know about it, and those that saw it, they just were like scratching their head, like, what the heck are you doing? And that, to me, that's a prime example of I didn't care what kind of car it was. I just thought it was cool, quirky, and different. And being a designer and a person who loves the aesthetics and things, I thought, you know what, that car was cool. And it was a total sled. I had 20s on it. It was slammed, and we did a custom paint job on it. But at the end of the day, I mean, it was too much car for me, I guess. Yeah, I just love good designs, so it doesn't matter who makes it.